Hi, welcome to the weirdest Facebook Live I've ever done, and will probably ever do, maybe. So, this is not my live, so that's why I'm over here. But this is Kichu's live, and although it might look like she is sleeping, they're upside down. She's not. She wanted to transmit a message to you all, and she's probably gonna embarrass me by getting up and trying to leave. Watch. um, she's not actually sleeping. See, she asked me to come here and deliver this message, and so I've just sat here for 30 minutes being like, am I really gonna do this? I don't know. It seems weird, like really weird. But the thing is that I would die if something happened to Kichu before I honored her request. So, even though it looks like she's sleeping, going to transmit to you what she has been asking me to do for the past couple weeks. If you've listened to any of my previous lives, you will hear her meowing in the background. I just did a podcast with Mark Wildflower Cordone. We recorded about a week ago, and it just dropped on Wednesday. And she's meowing in that too. I'll put the link to that in the comments because it's important, because that's why I'm doing this. Because this is so weird. Well, so when I was little, I used to talk to animals. And when I say that, I don't mean like I was like anthropomorphizing them and like, pretending I knew what they said. I could actually like hear their thoughts. It was weird, not in words. Anyway, I talk about it on Mark's podcast. It was really kind of the most honest I've ever been about this. But I didn't really talk about it because, one, I was made to think that it was imagined, that it wasn't real, or that, no, my phone's dying now. Um, just that it wasn't real. And then now, recently, like, it's weird to talk about because a lot of people, everyone, I think, now on the planet are awakening and opening up to their psychic gifts. And I feel like it's weird when people come in and, like, try to be like, oh, I'm channeling this, that, and the other thing, and I know all these things, and I have all these special gifts, and we try to make it, like, special. So anyway, I've been resistant to doing this, but here I am anyway. Here's the backside of Kichu. And here is, I realized, so right before the coronavirus broke out, I was doing this Instagram and Facebook stories chronicles about cat co-working with Kichu. Because for the first time in my life, she was like with me all the time as I was working. She was like right behind me every day, and it was super strange and also very endearing. And I was like, what's going on here? And I realized at some point, because it was every day, all day long, that she was inhaling my stardust, literally my unicorn farts. And likewise, she was feeding me like motivation and inspiration, like when someone's got your back, like literally she had my back, she was sitting right behind me. It was motivated to keep going on. So I, for the first time ever, understood this deep kind of like symbiotic energetic relationship with an animal. And now she's been my companion on this life journey for a while. I think like 12 years. How long has it been? She doesn't abide by our standards of time. So it's been a while. And she's pretty old. Give her a shout if you know Kichu, if you ever met Kichu. I think probably maybe she appreciates like likes and highs and stuff too. I don't know, probably not. Do you? Anyway, I think it would be nice if you wanted to throw Kichu some hearts. So I started to understand this real like symbiotic energetic relationship in a way that I haven't before, even with this being who I have known for quite a while. And so yeah, so I was doing these lives and I was doing Mark's podcast, and it was funny because every time I would turn on a camera or a microphone, she would start meowing like a crazy horse or crazy cat, so to speak. And I realized like she had things that she wanted to say, and she was like asking me to say them, and I was like not wanting to do it, so I didn't do it for weeks. But so anyway, before my phone dies, I'm gonna tell you there's two things basically. So like I said, she's not really sleeping. She's like transmitting right now. But the first thing is she was saying is that all the pets are dying. So prior to this, she had told me a little while ago that she was going to die this year. And, you know, I'm a believer in the power of the mind. So I both believe her, if that's what she says, and I also equally hold space for the hope and the notion that she could not die and she could very much live. But in the past couple of weeks, actually, she has been showing signs that she's on the decline. And this was like, when she had first said this to me, she seemed totally healthy and normal. And my mom was like, she's not going to die. I was like, okay, fine. But now she's not. So that's why I felt like I had to do this, because if she died and I didn't do this, I don't know if I could live with myself, right? So anyway, that wasn't her point. Her point was all the pets are dying. And I was like, Kichu, what do you mean? She's like, the pets are dying. And so it takes a while sometimes to understand in human terms what animals are expressing. Basically, what I gather is that lots of pets are going to be dying in the next 3 years or so. Firstly, because of all of the collective psychic stress and the energy that's in the ether, it's a bit much. And then furthermore, it's that, you know, a lot of them feel like they came on this planet to like help human beings awaken, and they feel like they did their job, and they're done. That's how Kichu feels anyway. So a lot of pets are gonna die. So I'm sorry to say that, but the reason I want to share that with you is because for me, in my relationship with Kichu, just knowing that she very well may die soon has changed our relationship. So she's been following me around with her tail like wrapped around my leg, and normally I would be annoyed, you know, because like I can't walk like that and I have things to do. But now there is such a more tender Kichu. It's so much more tender, and I have so much more consideration for her. And so, you know, just the thought, just the knowledge that your pet might die, you know, I think is one that's worth contemplating, or anyone that we love for that matter, right? Because then each and every moment, like even if she's like sitting up my butt while I'm working, I can really cherish those moments and really be with her fully. Or do it live like this. I wouldn't probably do this if I thought she was going to live. So anyway, point number 2 from Kichu. Right. The other thing she was saying was the animals. The animals are dying. The animals are dying. And so the whole point of this is that we really need to reconstruct our relationship with animals. So one, I think she also meant by the pets are dying is like the notion of pets itself is dying. We don't own these creatures at all. This creature has never been owned by me. And, you know, lately I've been realizing like she chose me and she chose to come and live with me, but by far she was never mine, right? And so the whole point is, I think, rethinking and reimagining our relationship to animals right now, because basically what's going on, and I'll just be blunt, is the coronavirus, the world possibly destroying itself. So much of this is actually caused by our relationship with animals. And that's like it starts with the relationship that we have, our immediate relationship with animals, but it's also systemic, you know? It's the way that we're destroying entire ecosystems and the biodiversity in the world. And gosh, don't even get me started on the practices related to animal consumption and use for different things. It's like one of the leading causes of the situation that we're in now. So this notion of pets and even of animals is a kind of like speciesism, you know, that separates us from them, and then that gives us some kind of compartmentalization so that we can treat them differently. You know what I mean? Does anyone know what I mean? I mean, I don't know if it's what I mean. Kichu, want to help me out here? They're not our pets. Like they're their own like free will agents, and that's why I also know like if Kichu's gonna die and she wants to die, like there's no amount of like healing I can do to stop her. She's gotta want to stay, and if she has free will, if she's ready to go, like I'm gonna let her go. But yeah, what else you got? Just that it's hard. It's been really hard, and it's all hard to bear, all of it. But you know, whatever you're doing right now, I hope that you're really being with those that you love, whether they're furry, like this one, or whether they're human, kind of like this one, or even, you know, with every breath that you take. Because the more that we can really open our hearts and connect during this time and honor the things that are largely unseen, that are largely unspoken, the things that normally we would dismiss as not real, right? Or our imagination, right? Or things that we're perceiving that are not based in science or something like that, you know? The more that we can actually connect with the unseen, but the equally as potent and meaningful, that's going to change the way that we relate to one another and the entirety of the planet, which we're all incredibly interconnected to. And so our relationship with animals really, really matters in this time. And I don't hear a lot of people speaking about it, including myself. I didn't want to. I was really resistant. If you were here on the beginning of this, I was super resistant to doing it. But Kichu made me do it. Thanks, Kichu. Are you even gonna like pretend? Are you even gonna like show your face? This was all her idea, I swear. If you saw my last post, I was gonna lay and watch Netflix all day. But anyway, Kichu asked me to do it, and so this is my way of honoring the largely untended to, the ignored, and the undermined, right? Which is our dear animal friends. That's been happening to them a lot. And basically, for the health of everyone, it needs to stop. So, I don't know, this might be the last time you see Kichu, or this might have been just a whole ploy for her. She might not be dying at all. She just might have wanted me to do this weird ass live. Thank you, little hearts, whoever that was. She might have just wanted me to do this live, and now she's gonna live for 100 more years and meower us to death. That's possible too. But either, yeah, Tiger Queen makes her appearance. What else you gotta say? Did we do good? Did I do a good job? I love you. So anyway, Kichu and I love you. There, I called it. Now she's like, I'm out of here, so end the live. Have a little Kichu butt to say goodbye to. I love you all. And let me know, like, relationship with animals, you working with it? Yes, no? I'd love to hear it, because it's really important right now. All right, I love you all. Bye.